Hey guys, this is Andreas from Pocketables.com, and today I have a reader request for a tasker profile. The idea is that when you get a notification and your phone is in your pocket and you're busy, you notice that perhaps notice that the notification comes in, but you can't pick it up right away, and then by the time you can pick it up, you've actually forgotten. So a system of repeating notifications would allow you to actually have the phone continue bugging you until you react. So what or how to do this is actually quite simple. It's a very dynamic system. You can basically make it do whatever you want. I'm going to go into Tasker and create a new system, a new profile, and for the example, I'm going to create a Gmail notification repeater every 10 seconds for a minute, just as an example. I'm going to call it Gmail repnot. And as the context, I'm going to go into event, UI, and notification. Now, this is a context that requires Tasker's accessibility settings enabled. This is something you'll find in the main system settings, so not in Tasker, but in the main system settings of your device. It's under accessibility, and you'll be able to find Tasker and enable it. This basically just allows Tasker to read notifications from other applications, which is what it needs in order to do something based on those notifications. So you could specify a title, filter it that way. You could just do it for all the apps or create separate profiles for each app. In this case, I'm going to select owner applications Gmail in order to make it just for that one app. I'm going to click OK, create a new task. Don't even have to name it. And then what I'm going to do is there are actually a few different ways you can do this. You could use it with a goto loop or something like that, but I'm going to use a for loop. Now the for loop is something I explained in part 7 of the Tasker guide, so I won't go into too much detail, but we're going to use it for something that is not really designed to be used for. Because we're basically just going to use it to repeat something and not actually going to transfer anything into the variable that it's supposed to work on each time. So it doesn't matter what we call this variable, we're not going to use it. I want it to repeat 6 times, so I'm going to specify 1:6, which basically is a quicker way of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gives us 6 items. And when I add a end for to the end of this, in between these actions is actually a group all nested under the for action. So what's going to happen is that when this task runs, the for action is going to see that it has 6 items, and then for each of those items, in this case 6 times, it's going to loop everything that's nested underneath it. So that's basically perfect for making something repeat and be able to quickly see how many times it will repeat. I think it's easier than using variables and goto loops. And what we're going to put inside that group, the for group, is basically whatever we want the notification to be. You could have sounds and vibrations and lights flashing, turning on the screen, playing music. Basically whatever you can get Tasker to do, but just for the sake of this example, we're just going to use well, you can just write hello in a flash message, which is basically going to flash it up on the screen. Put that inside the for loop, and then we need a repeat, a delay. The delay is basically how far in between each notification. So we're going to add a wait for 10 seconds because I want it to repeat every 10 seconds. Then I'm just going to drag it into the group as well. So for each of these 6 items, it's going to flash hello, wait 10 seconds, and then do it all over again. So obviously you could edit this to do whatever you want. If you wanted to repeat every minute for 30 minutes, you just set the weight to 1 minute and items to 1 to 30, and then, well, yeah, you get the point. So that's basically everything needed for the actual repeating notification. But you're most likely going to want some way of actually disabling it as well. So you can actually be quite creative when it comes to this. There is a I'm going to call it Gmail RN cancel. My profile names are always very inventive. There is an event context called notification click, and this allows you to specify a title or an owner application, and when you click a notification for that app or whatever you specified, you can run a task. But I have not gotten this one to actually work reliably, so I wouldn't really. It works pretty well if the owner application is Tasker. Maybe there's even something in here about it. It doesn't say so, but I have my accessibility service enabled, but it still doesn't work unless the owner application is Tasker, and I use a title, only a title filter. That might have something to do with the notification being generated by something other than the apps in the list. It's a long story, but bottom line, it's not reliable. What you could do instead is use an application context. So in my case, Gmail, which basically means that when Gmail is open, I want it to stop the task that I just made, which I called something like Gmail repnot or whatever, which I obviously can't remember. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's my mistake. I made it anonymous. Can I give it a name? So that's my mistake. So there we go, we have a name for it, and then I can find it in the list and actually stop it. So what's going to happen here is that whenever I'm in whenever I open Gmail, it's actually going to send a message to stop the repeating notification. And that's of course useful, because if you do click the Gmail notification, you actually do end up in Gmail, and then you sort of make it act on clicking the notification, even though it actually instead reacts to you opening the application. So that's one way of doing it. I'm going to save out and just make this notification go away, so I can actually send myself an email. So with this saved, when I send myself an email, it should start repeating, and then when I click it, it should stop. So hopefully it's relatively quick. Okay, so I finally got it to actually receive a notification. I don't know what's going on with Gmail, but I'm getting tired of it. So anyways, you can see it actually started going off, and now it's just flashing hello every 10 seconds. So it's going to do that for 3 more times unless I click this notification, which brings me into Gmail, which should hopefully send the stop command to the task, which it seems to have done because it stopped flashing. So if I go back into Tasker, you can see that it's no longer running. So what happened here with some technical difficulties in between, is that when I received an email, that created a notification. That notification triggered the Gmail RepNots profile, which started this loop of notifying me using a flash message every 10 seconds. When I clicked the Gmail notification, it brought me into the Gmail app, which then triggered this profile, in turn turning off the repeating notification task. So, two profiles, 5 tasks in total, not very much, and you can customize it however you want. Basically, you can have sounds in here and maybe your own notification. You can use longer waits, shorter waits, more items to make it repeat more times, and so on and so forth. So it's a simple thing to do. You just need to know how, and it's actually a very useful thing to have. I can see why the reader wanted this profile. So as usual, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.